Hey guys, it's me, James, and today we're gonna take a look at the mod tools for Academagia. I'm pretty sure I've talked about them in my Let's Play before, but the mod tools is well, as you can guess by the name, it's a tool that the developers of Academagia put out for people to make mods for Academagia. Now, I use the mod tools instead of making mods because I have no idea how to do that. Um, I use the mod tools as kind of a walkthrough slash guide for the adventures, so I know what I have to level up to complete them instead of doing the adventure, failing, reloading, and then doing it that way. I find this much easier. So, if you wanted to get the mod tools, you would go to the Academagia forums, and there's a thread called Mod Tools Now Available. I'm going to have a link in the description for this thread, and you would go to the Mod Tools has been released here. You click on that, it'll automatically start downloading. But there is a problem. If you need the mod base to do what I'm talking about, I don't know what the AMO is, but you need the mod base. Problem is, this link is dead, and every link for mod base 3, which is the one I use, all the links seem to be dead. So there's a mod base 4, but that doesn't seem to work with the mod tools that they have released. It seems that this one was made in a mod tools for year 2, and it can't be used in the older mod tools, and they can't release the new mod tools until year 2 comes out, from what I've read on the forums. So you need mod base 3. I can't seem to find a link that works. You can go on the forums. There's a Modders Unite section of the Academagia forums, and if you ask politely there, I'm sure someone will help you out to find the mod tools. The mod base 3. I haven't asked for it because I didn't want to waste anyone's time in case they wanted to do a more private, one-to-one thing instead of putting a public link on the forums to a Dropbox. So you're going to have to do some extra work to get this to work for you, probably. Be it doing better searching than I did, or by asking on the forums. But the way it works is you get your mod tools, you go to Open Mod, and you would open Mod Base 3. This DLC 17 is Mod Base 4, and again, doesn't work, which is a shame. And the only difference between the two mod bases is the newer mod bases would have some of the newer adventures that were added in the DLCs, or new actions or whatever got added to the newer versions. But most of the adventures kind of stay the same, so it's okay to use an older mod base. Maybe they got tweaked slightly, but it should be fine. It's what I've been using, and it's been working out for me. So here we can see on the mod base pretty much everything that's in the game. There's emotions, familiars, instructors, the college. But what I do is I go to Story Adventure. It'll take a minute to load up here. And all the adventures in the game load up here. And the adventures are the ones that you select. These aren't the random adventures, which I would assume would probably be story complication events. Let's just say you want to do the militia captain's adventure. You would have to find it on this list. It wouldn't be named what you would think it would be named. It's not named the same way it is in game. So I know that's called, I believe, Main Adventure Captain. Okay, so here we go. Main Adventure Captain. So you can see all of these are from 0 to 12. All of these are part of the Militia Captain's adventure in the game, which is one of the main adventures. There's a main adventure with the pirates, Alaro, and there should be a one with the headmaster, or Orso Orsi, but I guess his is labeled a little differently, which is annoying. But generally, they're all listed in a way you can find them. So let's just click on a random one, and I'll show you how to read it. So here it pops up. We're in Main Adventure Captain 10. The general tab doesn't really matter. The title one matters because this is what it's going to be called in game when you look for it in the adventure list. So this one is called House Arrest. The main text is what's going to show up when you start the adventure. Prerequisites, usually there's something here that says like a date, because you can't start adventures until it makes sense in the story, I guess. Actors are who's being presented in the main text. And then the exits are your options for doing the adventures. So, the green, blue, red options that you usually get. And then there's investigation, which is usually observation or something that gives you a little extra bit of information that will either open up an exit. So some exits require you to pass an investigation roll, or it will give you a benefit, like gives you a bonus to doing one of the options. So you open it up, description, observation, who's on guard duty. So this uses an observation skill. There's these two don't really matter right now. The success text, the failure text, the sacrifice text. There's never sacrifice text. Sacrifice text is when you sacrifice one of your members of your clique to automatically pass something, but you don't get any story benefits. So this benefits here is used for investigation. So this will give us memory 0. Usually it's named something, but I guess because this is the only investigative role, it's only called memory. There's drawbacks if you fail, and then the most important one is rolls. So this tells us it's insight plus skill, which is observation, versus a threshold of 14. For this, you want your observation to be as high as possible. So that would probably be a 10. You're still below the threshold, but you're probably going to be at a blue, maybe a black. But your insight skill can add to your skill. Or your insight attribute can add to your skill. I'm not sure how it gets added, though. It's not a 1-to-1. So if like your insight was 5, it's not 5 plus your observation skill. At least it doesn't seem so. So generally what I do is I just bring observation, the main skill, as high as possible, and then use a spell or something to bring it even higher to beat the threshold. But your attribute skill does help in some way. So this one gives us a memory benefit for one of these. I think it's this one, exit 4. So again, you open it up. It'll show you, lie. Description is the most important one. Prerequisites is really important to know what you need to unlock. So this one has existence memory. That's swashbuckler. So you need the memory from the investigation to be able to even have this option. The next important thing for this is success continuance, where it's going to tell you what happens when you succeed at it. So here it says main adventure Captain 11. It begins and it has a date, ends on another date, variance equals 0. So what this means is you can continue to main adventure Captain 11, because we're on 10 right now, beginning on these dates. So once you choose this option and you succeed, the adventure will end, and the next time you go through your adventure list, you will find Captain 11. Failure says pretty much you can redo Captain 10 at the adventure will end, and you can continue. You would have to redo Adventure Captain 10. And then the rolls, so this is versus 9. But you had to get through an observation versus 14 to get this option. So these other options here, like exit 1, which is a glamour spells, is probably a bit higher. Yeah, so 13. So those so observation is a good one to level up all the way because it can give you more options that might be easier to do for your specific character. Now I'm gonna show you a quick thing right now because I know 11 and 12 link together. So we're going to do exits. We're going to go to the first one, which is revision themes. And here the success continuance says main adventure Captain 12. The offset, duration, and variance are all 0, which means it will automatically go to the next one, which is Captain 12. And you want to pay attention to this because I just ran into a adventure chain that splits off depending on what option you do. So for Netta's adventure, I think after 2, depending on which one you choose, it will either go to Netta Adventure 3 or Netta Adventure 4. So you have to pay attention to that as well if you want to use this as a guide and you don't want to accidentally raise skills you don't need, like I probably did. But yeah, that's pretty much the mod tools and how I use it as a guide. If you're looking for student adventures, generally they're labeled student adventure and then the characters' names. So here's student adventure, and it's all alphabetical. So Catherine's there, Cirillo, Cyrus, Durand. So they're usually pretty easy to find. Most of them are under student adventure and their name. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 of them that don't follow this tag, but generally that it works. Anyway, I think that's everything for the mod tools. If you watched this all the way, thank you. You are awesome. If you like this, you can hit the like button. You don't really have to if you don't want to. And if you use the mod tools and want to share like other things you can look on the mod tools to help play the game, please leave a comment. Share that with us and maybe it'll make it easier for other people to play the game. If you know where to get the mod base 3 in an easy way, let us know. So yeah, I think that's everything. Again, thank you for watching. I know I said that before. And if you haven't watched my Let's Play for Academagia, maybe go check it out. It's a cool choose your own adventure type of game. Anyway, I'm going to get to editing this video now. Bye.